Zero, the fool. Where is he? Let's find him. Alright, so we're starting from zero. And here's what we're gonna do. This is a challenge for me, myself. I am going to go all the way through every single card in, there it is, in the tarot. And I'm going to explain what it means to me, how I relate to it, how I interpret it. I'm not going to give you the traditional explanation because you can do that yourself. You can go find the traditional meaning and you can relate it. You can say I'm wrong, you can whatever. But this is a challenge from 0 to 78, whatever it is. I guess it's 78. I don't really know because I don't know everything, you know. But in order to learn and actually go through the experience of, all these archetypal symbols and how they relate to me and how they relate to my life and the journey that I've been on. I've been on plenty of spiritual journeys, been on a lot of strange trips, you could say. And so I've been through this like multiple times. But it doesn't really mean anything if you're just talking about, oh, here, let me get the cards out and let's do a reading, and I'm going to tell you, that a lover is coming into your life. Or, you're about to get to the 10 of Pentacles and whatever, Quite frankly, this is a disgrace to the powerful, symbolism that it holds and the intention of what it's supposed to represent. It's a journey. If it's the hero's journey, then are you becoming a hero or are you just consuming more content? Because it's quite frankly addicting. And since I was addicted to this sort of thing and I don't like the loop that I'm in, I'm going to do something different by teaching through my experience and everything that I have learned through trying to go through all of these symbols of, because we all arrive at different points. Maybe you've never become the hero. It doesn't really matter, And some people could say like, well, you've got the tree of life and it's supposed to go this way and it's supposed to go that way. I don't care what is right or wrong or subjectively, traditionally. This is my interpretation of the whole entire story from 0 to 78, starting on 7/7, July 7th, 2026. And I'm going to go through the whole story, starting with 0. And the funny thing is, I have been the fool for the past 6 months. This whole entire year, I pretty much dropped everything and started over from 0 because I didn't like what I had built before. And yes, you could say I was an emperor. You could say I was a king of pentacles in a sense. Or you could say that I, whatever. But that's beside the point. I'm starting over is the point. And so this is 0. This is the fool. And the fool's journey is just that, a foolish one. Sometimes we could be very optimistic, maybe a little bit naive. Me personally, I don't think that I'm being naive. I just am so overly optimistic about everything. I like to see the good in everything and the possibility in everything and the potential in everyone. And so this is kind of just my natural state of being, is free, carefree. Some people might perceive me as naive, but that's their problem. You know, they don't really know what it's like to be me, and I don't know what it's like to be you, honestly. So that's why I'm making this challenge to you, is that if you could do it with me, if you find this inspiring, I would challenge you to make a video on each card in whatever order you want to take. Now, the order that I'm going to do it in is starting at 0, and I'm going to pick, 2 or 3 minor arcana cards to go along with that kind of accompany that energy of this new journey that I'm stepping out on, taking leaps of faith. And in a way, this is me taking a leap of faith and knowing that nothing may ever come of this, and that's kind of beside the point. You're not doing it to get something out of it. You're doing it because you're curious and you're inspired and you're optimistic and you want to have fun and you want to play with life. That is kind of the energy and the archetype of the Fool for me. And the funny thing is that for the past 6 months, I've been walking around an island with nothing but a hammock, a tarp, and a bag. I mean, I essentially have become the embodiment of the Fool for the past 6 months. And look at that, it's raining. So, it's always raining, on and off. It's raining with the sun out. But the point is, that's how I relate to the Fool. And that's basically me right now anyway. And since we're starting from 0, we're going to see what happens and how my life changes when I try to learn about myself, try to learn about symbolism, try to learn about archetypal imagery, and how I can use that to transform myself, as well as to reflect upon what's going on in my psyche, my unconscious, and maybe the unconscious patterns that I need to break out of. And that's what I've been trying to do, is observe these unconscious patterns and change them. So this is the challenge. This is what we're doing. If you feel like it, you could just make a 10-minute video talking about how, you yourself relate to the card, or what you want to learn about it, or what you have learned about it, and then how you can step into that energy and go through the whole entire journey together. And the thing is, about when it comes to tarot, whatever you want to say it, you go through it like multiple times in life, and you start over from 0 plenty of times, and it's not always a linear progression from wands, cups, swords. It's not always like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not always just, because sometimes you can go from a fool to an emperor. I mean, that's just how it goes. Sometimes you skip over some things because it's fractal in nature, and everything is really fractal in nature. The Ace of Pentacles popping out over here, which is a new path towards anything physical, tangible, right? So could be learning. This is me learning about it. But anyways, that's beside the point. So this is me taking action on like learning and also integrating at the same time. So this is like a real-time journey that we all can go through together, instead of just clicking on another tarot reading that tells you, like I said, you're going to get to the 10 of Pentacles tomorrow. We can actually be like, okay, how does this powerful tool of transformation, how does it actually work in my life, and how can I actually use it in a beneficial way instead of being very destructive? I have this saying, tools can cut, but they can also build a house. You can smash somebody's head in with a hammer, or you can build a house with it. And that's all this is. This is just a tool. It's just a tool. And honestly, it's been very destructive in my life. And I've been using it to destroy my mental health rather than repair it. And so that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'll just go on with the Fool. Enough with the challenge. You get the gist of what I'm saying. This is what I'm going to do over the next 78 days. We'll see if I can stay consistent or not. I am living in a hammock right now. So I'm just being grateful that I get to have food every day, and that I do have somewhere to sleep, and the fact that I'm in a nice, beautiful, wonderful place. This place is magical and extremely spiritually charged. And so enough of that. The point is, the way that I interpret the Fool is somebody who's very optimistic, ready to go, ready to explore, ready to travel. And we often equate this with like taking leaps of faith on a new journey. It's like, I have no idea how this is going to work out, but I'm just going to go. You know, I'm going to get my bags and I'm going to go. That's what I've done. I've been an example of this for the past 6 months of my life. I didn't really like the town that I was staying in, and I didn't want to stay around the same people, the same place, the same situation. So I had to drop everything and start completely over from zero. And we should allow ourselves to do that sometimes, you know? Oftentimes we're just like so attached. I found myself so attached to material possessions or a certain identity that I have to uphold, or this idea of responsibility. It's like, yes, you have your certain responsibilities you need to take care of. That's not everybody can just get up and do it, but it could be in any way, you know. Say you just want to start over fresh and learn something new. I'm going to jump into coding, or I'm going to jump into learning about tarot, you know? Like, it could be any journey that you want to take. It doesn't have to be, oh, I'm going to upset and change my whole life. That's just the way I'm doing it right now. So I'm starting over from zero. And the funny thing is I was gifted. I thought he did have a flute, but I was gifted a flute. And you think of the guy traveling down some road with a bag and a flute, just playing along. That's me right now, like literally. And it's been so much fun. And there's been times where I've been in danger, and it's like, oh shit. And you don't even realize like what you're doing. You're just like, I hope this works out. I'm gonna go find out. And you take a leap of faith and you go. And that's exactly the psychology of like how I've embodied that to the fullest. And I've been optimistic, and it's been an extremely fun journey so far. I don't really know where it leads, and it's not that I need to have any place I need to end up. It just means that I'm going. I'm gonna go explore. I'm gonna go find out. I'm gonna be curious. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna trust whatever is guiding me. Hopefully it's something that is I don't know, not deceptive, but we'll see what happens. But that's it. That's the Fool. So that's how I interpret it. That's how I've embodied it. This is how it applies to my life. I have come to an island with nothing but a bag, 2 bags, and just went exploring. Was curious, see what I can do over here. What's over here? What's over there? Excited to travel and just be light as a feather and kind of just flow with the wind and be optimistic and this is what I'm actively doing. I'm not just talking about it online. You can see that I am here, and I have traveled and I have done things. It's not just like, oh, let me turn the camera on and tell you your fortune. Okay, so this is the way I think that it should be used, is that we're gonna go through it and we're gonna see what happens at the end. How does the Fool turn into, I don't know, how does the Fool get to the world? You know, get to the cycle has been completed, and I've gone around the cycle so many times, but this time I'm just documenting it publicly to show how powerful this can be if you allow yourself to go on a new journey, start over from zero, be optimistic, and see what happens. And this is a fractal of itself. You know, the journey in itself is a fractal of itself. By going through the journey and sharing it online is a whole new thing that nobody's ever done before. Instead, a lot of people are just doing the same things, making another account to give you readings about how this found you for a reason, and you need to hear it because Spirit has a message for you. I'm sorry, but that's played out, and there's nothing spiritual about an algorithm that collects your data and knows your psychology. That's just how it is. And since I don't like that, I'm going to show you what it means to be a fool. And that's what I've done. I could show you around a bit, but there's really not much to look at. I'm at the library. And we're just gonna have fun with this, and we're gonna see what happens. I don't know how long I've gone on for, but that's zero. That's the Fool. Tomorrow we will do the Ace of Wands probably, and I'll just try to keep on uploading every single day for the next 78 days, and we'll get through the journey and see what happens. So I invite you to come along with me and start making your video at zero, however that relates to whatever topic, subject, thing you want to do. And that will make this whole entire platform into what I think it's intended for, which it's called YouTube. It's supposed to be all about you, not just a job, you know? It's not just a job. It's a journey. It's an expression. It's you. And this is me. This is Achilles, and this is what I'm doing. And you can come join me, and it's a challenge. If you're into tarot at all, or you read tarot readings, or you click on tarot readings, I would invite you to do this. If you want to change your life, if you want to have a new journey, if you want to start out fresh and learn some things about yourself, instead of me sitting here telling you what you want to hear, or just pretending that I can read into your energy or something, then, I think it would be very inspirational, beneficial, if we could all transform in this space and become more connected and share our stories together online authentically and show our mistakes and not try to pretend to be something that we're not, and instead just go through the journey, start over fresh, whatever it is that you want to learn about, however you relate these symbols. And mine is quite literal. I am the Fool walking around trying to start my whole life over, so this is pretty huge, but doesn't have to be that big, it could be anything. So however you want to do it, it's up to you. But this is how I'm doing it. It might not every video is going to be perfect. It's not going to be engaging. I don't care how many people engage with it. I don't care how many people like, comment, or subscribe. And quite frankly, I'm going to turn off the comments, and I'm just going to show what it's like to be Achilles and go through the journey of the tarot, the Fool's journey, hero's journey. And we'll see what happens tomorrow when we start an Ace of Wands. So yeah, we're going to do the Ace of Wands next. So see how that applies to my life tomorrow. And I'll see you around. Have fun. See you later.